उपज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागररघुनाथं तं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सागरललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिनि। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। नमो ब्राह्मण देवाय गो ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगत हिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय ते नमः। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिषे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। कोटि वैष्णव की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। वेलकम एवरीवन।
हरे कृष्ण
माताजी।
हरे कृष्णा। दंडवत प्रणाम। हरे कृष्णा। Mulidhar Prabhu, you are still not left to Bangalore?
I'll come by flight tomorrow morning. I'll start.
Okay.
Reach by afternoon, 12 o'clock or so. 1 o'clock.
Okay. Hare Krishna. So we have to start new prayers today. So prayers of Nagapatnis, the wife of Kaliya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtikim Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkrupatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Shri Guru Deenadayalam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are reading Canto 10. So a couple of prayers are in Canto 10 only. So earlier we finished prayer of Lord Brahma. Now this is in 16th chapter. Prayers, this is the heading. Krishna chastises the serpent Kaliya. So this is the name of the chapter. So you all maybe, anybody wants to explain this? What was that pastime of Kaliya in short?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu.
This Kaliya serpent was a very poisonous serpent who was staying in the river Yamuna, and he used to give this so much of poison poisonous air, fumes and other things, so that nearby whoever is going there, birds or animals, they used to die. So one day, Lord Krishna sat on the tree nearby, and then he jumped into the river and started swimming. And he started making lot of noise so that the serpent should come up. So when he came, then there was a big fight among the Lord Krishna and the serpent. And finally, Lord Krishna, the serpent first enclosed Lord Krishna for at least 2-3 hours, and then all the villagers were very much afraid what will happen to the Lord. Then finally, uh, the Lord Krishna grew bigger and bigger, and the serpent has to uh, leave that grip. And so then Lord Krishna sat on that, on his hood. But this is the only demon where Lord Krishna didn't kill the demon, whereas all others he had killed. So that was the basic difference
Yes.
between this.
And that was the reason why did he not kill? Because of the devotees, his wives who
Wives,
prayed
yes.
Lord Krishna, right?
Yes.
So very beautifully explained. Prabhu has explained in detail everything. So yes. So so because to save the Vrajvasis from this poisonous snake, and who was there, but Krishna wanted to chastise, so he didn't. That is why it is not mentioned killed, because he didn't kill him, and because of the prayers of his wives, right? So yeah, so basically, when Krishna was like, um, he had caught him in the coil, right? And when he was growing big, before that, these people, Brajvasis, they actually thought that something, no, it is very all many. It is said. Prabhupada explains there are many inauspicious things that was happening in Braj, right? So they were no, the star, they say that stars falling, right, which is considered to be inauspicious. And they were like the left limbs shaking for many animals, and there were so many inauspicious things happening. So they all thought that since Balram, that day actually Lord Balram didn't go with him. So usually they both go together, right? So that day he didn't go, and they thought, okay, because of him nobody was there to protect him. And they all like when they saw at one instance, the snake actually it bit him on the chest for Krishna. So by seeing that, everybody thought, okay, that something happened to Krishna, and they all fainted. And they all actually, when they saw when Krishna being coiled by the snake, they all wanted to jump in water. And then Lord Balram, since he knows that how powerful is the Lord, right? He stops them, and then the pastime takes place. We see that he danced on the hood, and yeah. So finally, they pray him that please forgive our husband, and you should not kill him. So these are the prayers. 10:16:33. Nagapatnya uvacha. Yeah, so he takes a promise. Before that, Krishna takes a promise from him that they like what happened when he grew big. It was becoming unbearable pain for the Kaliya, and he was the blood was coming out. And then finally, after they all pray, then Krishna says that you all have to leave this place, and he has to go them to some other place. It is said Ramanaka Island. Bhakti is there. So that was the place where he was asked to leave this Yamuna, and he agrees. So, yeah. Nagapatnya uvacha न्यायो हि दण्ड कृतकिल्बिषे अस्मि तवावतार कलनिग्रहाय Riposutanam api tulya drishtir dashte damam phalam evanusham san. Nagapatnya uvacha. Uchuhu.
Nagapatya uvacha.
Nagapatnya uchuhu.
Okay. Nyayo hi danda krita kilbishe asmis.
Nyayo hi dandaha krita kilbishe asmin.
Tava avatara kala nigrahaya.
Tava
Avatara
avatara
kala nigrahaya.
Riposutanam api tulya drishtir.
Riposutanam api tulya drishtir.
Datse dhamam phalam evanushamsan.
Damam phalam evanushamsam.
Nagapatnya uchuhu.
Nagapatnya uchuhu.
Nyayo hi danda krita kilbishe asmis.
Nyayo hi dandaha krita kilbishe asmin.
Tava avatara khala nigrahaya.
Avatara kala nigrahaya.
Riposutanam api tulya drishtir.
Riposutanam api tulya drishtir.
Damam phalam evanushamsan.
Tatse dhamam phalam evanushamsam.
Veena Mataji.
Yes. Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The wives of the Kaliya serpent said, the punishment this offender has been subjected to is certainly just. After all, you have incarnated within this world to curb down envious and cruel persons. You're so impartial that you look equally upon your enemies and your own sons. For when you impose a punishment on a living being, you know it is to be for his ultimate benefit. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, yeah. So, here Krishna is saying that you have incarnated within this world to curb down envious and cruel persons. Right? So, what is the shloka? It says Krishna has come to annihilate the cruel.
Yada yada hi dharmasya.
Not yet.
Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir-bhavati bharata.
Not that one. Next sloka.
Paritranaya
sadhunam.
Yeah. Vinashaya cha dushkrutam. So he says, right, to curb down to annihilate the most envious or the cruel people. So Krishna is also said to be impartial, right? He said, you're so impartial that you look equally upon your enemies and your own sons. For when you impose a punishment on a living being, you know it to be for his ultimate benefit. So whatever Krishna does, all his actions are good. It is said, right? Even maybe it looks like a bad, but actually that is a benefit for the person, right? So can you give some examples where Krishna's punishment was actually a blessing for the a demon or anyone, especially because we are talking about somebody who is envious and cruel persons, not the devotees here. So can you quote some examples?
Putana Mataji.
Yes, Putana is the best example, right? So there's a verse also on that. Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam, right? Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam, right? Jigam sayapaye dapya satvi lebhe gatinda triuchitam tatonyam kamvadayalum sharanam rajema, right? So we know this pastime, like Putana comes to kill the Lord, but since she fed Krishna with her breast milk, Krishna gave her the position of mother. So it is said she went back to the spiritual world. So how, who can be so much merciful than him? No? He didn't consider the bad thing, he only considered the good thing. So yes, that's a good example. Yes. Any other examples? Hare Krishna.
Even Shishupala's soul entered Krishna when he killed him.
Yes, he was also the most envious, right? So it was in the Rajasuya Yajna where Krishna was being worshipped and he could not take it, right? Because he hated him for many reasons, right? Since the birth, he didn't like Krishna, and right, and even the episode of Rukmini taken by Krishna, whom he wanted to marry. So there were so many other things for which Shishupala hated Krishna, and he was like he had a boon. Krishna had given his mother a boon that I will excuse his 100 mistakes, but 101th time when he does, I'm going to kill him. So it is said many times in the past he had done many times he had insulted Krishna, but he wouldn't reach 100. So Krishna forgave him. But on this particular occasion, on Rajasuya Yajna, which was conducted by Yudhishthira Maharaj, where he went on and he didn't stop. And after completing 100, and Krishna didn't bear anymore. And he used the Sudarshan Chakra and killed. And it is said everybody saw the soul entered into Krishna's heart. So, what is kind of liberation is this name? What kind of liberation is this called? Merging into Lord, right?
Sayujya?
Yes, Sayujya Mukti, right? So it is said devotees do not aspire for this. Usually the Sayujya means it is like they'll be in Brahman only, and they're not going to get the Seva of the Lord. So they are going to come back in the what to say? Sayujya Mukti is preferred by usually the Mayavadis or who don't actually engage in the service of the Lord. So it is not wished by devotees. But anyways, but here it was like a liberation for him, which is actually so difficult, not easy in this material world to get even a liberation because millions of life we take and so easily he got, right? So that was again Krishna's, though it looked like he killed him, and but actually eventually he merged into the Lord. Yes. Any other examples?
Mataji, son of Dronacharya, who had killed the children of.
What mercy Lord showed there? Actually, he was punished, no? He was taken away.
But Draupadi had stopped to
No,
not to
not Draupadi. See, particularly where Krishna showed mercy, because Krishna wanted to kill him. Krishna, Ashwatthama, Krishna wanted to kill. It was Draupadi who didn't want it to, right? She had her own reasons because, yeah, she didn't wanted the pain that she went through, the same to be gone through by Drona's wife. Yes. So where Krishna showed mercy, like he punished, but it was a blessing for the other person. So we can also take the Hiranyakashipu also, right? In the sense he killed him, and later because of Prahlad Maharaj, he forgave him, right? So he said like 21 generations, 10 generation behind generation who is going to be born at. So all of them I have forgiven. So that was the mercy. Though he had insulted so much the Lord also, and he for Prahlad Maharaj also he had behaved very cruelly and tried to kill him so many times because though he was his father. So that was then, and also it is said in Battle of Kurukshetra, whoever died in front of Lord, everybody attained liberation, right? So even the Kaurava side, though, no, like so all people. So that is the thing it is mentioned here. They are saying that. So even the whatever punishment is Lord is giving here, the punishment this offender has been subjected is certainly just. They are accepting that whatever the Kalia has done, he is supposed to be punished. And but then you are no, your punishment is also a benefit for the person. That's what they're saying here. So the next verse. Anugrahoyam bhavata kruto hino dando asatam te khalu kalmasha pahaha yaddanda shukatvam amushya dehinaha krodho apite anugraha eva sammataha. Anugraho ayam bhavata kruto hino
Anugraho ayam
bhavata krito hino
dando satam te khalu kalmashapaha.
dando
satam
satam
te
te
khalu
khalu
kalmashapaha
Yeddanda shukatvam dehinah.
Yeddanda
shukatvamushya dehinaha
Krodho apite anugraha eva sammataha.
krodho
apite
apite
anugraha
anugraha
eva
eva
sammataha.
sammataha
Anugraho ayam bhavata kruto hino
Anugrahoyam
ayam
bhavata
bhavata krito hino
krito
dando satam te khalu kalmashapaha.
dando satam
satam
te
te
khalu
khalu kalmashapaha
Yeddanda shukatvam amushya dehinah.
Yaddanda shukatvam
Dandashukatvamushya dehinaha
Krodho apite anugraha eva sammataha.
krodho apite anugraha eva sammataha.
Yes. Muralidhar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation by Srila
लाइट
Prabhupada.
पे
Srila
लग गया था
Prabhupada.
ना ओह
Yes, Mataji.
1 second. Somebody is mute. Yeah. Go ahead.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What you have done here is actually mercy for us, since the punishment you gave to the wicked certainly drives away all the contamination. Indeed, because this conditioned soul, our husband, is so sinful that he has assumed the body of a serpent, your anger towards him is obviously to be understood as your mercy. Purport. Srila Madhavacharya points out in this connection that when a pious person suffers in this world, he realizes the punishment the Supreme Lord is meting out to me is actually his causeless mercy. Envious persons, however, even after being punished by the Lord for their purification, continue to envy him and be resentful. And this attitude is the reason for their continued failure to understand the absolute truth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you. Translation. What you have done here is actually mercy for us, since the punishment you give to the wicked certainly drives away all their contamination. Indeed, because this conditioned soul, our husband, is so sinful that he has assumed the body of a serpent, your anger toward him is obviously to be understood as your mercy. So in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says that when somebody is engaged in demonic activities, I will push him. Tanaham dvishata kruran sansareshu naradhamam kshipam yajasram ashubhan asurishveva yonishu. So who are such a demonic mentality people, what I will do, I will push them into the lowest of beings. Samsareshu naradaman means lowest of the mankind, who don't follow any regulatory principles, or they don't follow any religion, or they respect any scriptures, they don't surrender to Lord. So such people who thinks themselves, so this world is for their enjoyment, right? So such kind of people, what Krishna does, he put them into the lowest. So after that, what happens also, Krishna says, and then they will never, still more and more, they will engage in the sinful activities, right? Asurim yoni mapanna mudha janmani mama prapyeva kaunteya tato yantyadamam gatim. So after getting this demonic bodies are like lowest, like we see here, lowest of beings. Here it is mentioned as a snake, right? Snake is some animal which, like when a person is very envious, so it is said as per Shastra, if until the end of life, if he's so envious of other people, he would be born as a serpent. Many places it is said, right? So there, after getting this the kind of body, again he would never be able to reach me at all, because he would again engage in more sinful activities. Why does this happen, and who does this inspire him to do sinful activities? Anyone can tell? Who is inspiring the demonic person to engage in more sinful activities in next life?
Maya.
Maya.
Yeah. Yes, Maya. And through actually Krishna says, I only engage in, right? So it is very surprising, because Krishna says that uh, in a verse, Prabhupada, there is a verse, right, in Brahma Samhita, which says that whoever surrender unto me, either it be Lord Indra or the smallest insect, Indra Gopa, whoever surrenders unto me, I will remove all the uh, uh, reactions of the either fruitive activities or the sinful reactions, anything. So there Prabhupada says that though Krishna is very, it is said to be, sorry, not that. So there he says that how in the previous lives Krishna will make him remember, like whatever we have done. So accordingly, we are going to get the next body, and our actually based on that only we are going to do karma. And Krishna inspires in the sense he will only make them do also, because that is actually uh, giving the result of their karma, right? That is the result. See, if you see there in see, God impartially induces. Can you see this word induce? The fallen souls to act in a way that is consequent on the deeds of their previous birth, and to enjoy the fruition of their labors. But out of his great mercy to his devotees, he purges out by the fire of ordeal and the root of all karma, and with nescience and evil desires. So basically, what Krishna is doing for the one who wants to do demonic activities, Krishna engage them. Yes, as you said, Maya, but then ultimately Krishna also, right? As we know, like everything moves in the by the will of the Lord. So indirectly, his agency Maya is working under Lord's instruction. So when somebody is having, in the previous lives, if they have committed so many sinful activities, the next life they are not going to become a very pious, or they will not engage. To engage also, it is very difficult for them, right? It is not possible. So out only when one surrenders, Krishna can even remove that evil desires. Prabhupada says that evil desires also is removed from their heart. See how powerful is the Lord. Only otherwise, how the desires will go, right? So only by mercy of the Lord this can happen. So here in the purport it is mentioned that the pious people, they whatever happens bad also, they consider that to be that purification, right? So they think that that is uh, for my purification, or Krishna is giving punishment so that I can learn some lesson, right? It's better to take some lesson from anything happening bad in the life instead of blaming Lord, because Krishna will not give anything which we don't deserve. We get only, right, as you sow, so you reap, it is said, right? So whatever we have done in the past, we saw we have sown some seeds which had not grown by the time we had died in the previous life, but the tree has grown and it has to give the fruit, right? So we have come now and we are taking the fruits. So we can't, since we don't know our previous life, we can't blame that it is, we are being, God is being unjust. So God is never being unjust. He is only merciful in any ways. Even if he does bad also, it's for our, it is mentioned here that it is for the good only, right? So here it is said, what you have done here is actually mercy for us, since punishment you give to the wicked certainly drives away all their contamination. So by the punishment, one get purified. Even in our Shastras also, it was mentioned that um, when somebody does some sinful activity or someone kills someone, right? So immediately the king used to also give him the similar kind of punishment. That was actually good. That was the rules written in the Manu Samhita also, right? So where that somebody has done sinful activity, they have to be punished. Then they would not carry those sinful reaction to next life. That is why we hear this word prayaschitta also, right? But this prayaschitta, now what people do is of no use. That is what Parikshit Maharaj said, right? So why? Because unless they are a devotee or they do devotional service, that won't go from their heart. They will do prayaschitta and then they will do the same similar sin. So Prabhupada gives an example like somebody does like we have right in they go to church and they say that I did this sin, my forgive me, and like then the next week again you do, again every week you do, and then go and say that I mean you ask God to forgive
Confession,
them.
confession.
Confession, yeah, they have a that no to do a particular confession they can do. So they have like that. So not just them, even we are also, we are all everybody are same. And Prabhupada gives one more example of the elephant taking bath, right? So Kunjari Shaucha, right? It is called. So where elephant goes to bathe in the water, and then after bath coming out again, it put dust on its body. So it's of no use, right? So similarly, if we are so the mentality does not go. It is said the person unless he takes to devotional service, that mentality won't go. He keeps on doing the same thing. So that is what it is said here. You will no, wicked certainly drives away all contamination, but one who surrenders, Krishna takes away that kind of mentality or the desire, sinful desires from the heart. So then that purification happens. 10:16:35. तपस्सुताप्तं किमनेन पूर्वं निरस्तमानेन च मानदेन धर्मो अथवा सर्वद जनानुकम्पया यतो भवांस्तुष्यति सर्वजीवः तपस्सुताप्तं किमनेन पूर्वं
tapassuta kimanena purvam
निरस्तमानेन च मानदेन
Nirastamanena cha manadena
धर्मो अथवा सर्वजनानुकम्पया
dharmo
sarvajananukampaya
यतो यतो भवांस्तुष्यति सर्वजीवः
Yato
to bhavam stushyati
sarva jiva
sarvajivah
तपस्सुताप्तं सुताप्तं किमनेन पूर्वं
tapasutaptam
tam
kimanena
kimanena
purvam
purvam
निरस्तमानेन च मानदेन
nirastamanena cha manadena
manadena
धर्मो अथवा सर्वजनानुकम्पया
dharmo athava
अथवा
sarvajananukampaya
सर्वजनानुकम्पया
यतो भवांस्तुष्यति सर्वजीवः
yato
यतो
bhavastu
भवां
shyati
स्तुष्यति
sarva jiva.
सर्वजीवः
Wants to read?
May I, Mataji?
Yeah.
Did our husband carefully perform austerities in a previous life, with his mind free of pride and full of respect for others? Is that why you are pleased with him? Or did he in some previous existence carefully execute religious duties with compassion for all living beings? And is that why you, the life of all living beings, are now satisfied with him? Purport. In this regard, Srila Prabhupada comments in his Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, chapter 16. The Nagapatnis confirm that one cannot come in contact with Krishna without having executed pious activities in devotional services in his previous lives. As Lord Chaitanya advised in his Shikshashtaka, one has to execute devotional service by humbly chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street, and nor expecting honor for himself, but offering all kinds of honor to others. The Nagapatnis were astonished that although Kaliya had the body of a serpent as the result of grievous sinful activities, at the same time he was in contact with the Lord to the extent that the Lord's lotus feet were touching his boots. Certainly, this was not the ordinary result of pious activities. These two contradictory facts astonished them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. The translation. Did our husband carefully perform austerities in previous life, with his mind free of pride and full respect for others? Is that why you are pleased with him? Or did he in some previous existence carefully execute religious duties with compassion for all living beings? And is that why you, the life of all living beings, are now satisfied with him? So actually, Krishna danced on the, actually he was standing on the hood of Kaliya, right? So actually, what they meant is the dust, which is, the dust from the lotus feet of the Lord, which is touching him. It is so auspicious, right? So how easily he has got. So how did, so many great sages, they aspire for it, and how easily this person has got. So it cannot be unless he had done some austerities in previous lives. That is what they are saying here, right? And in the purport, we see that the reference given here of the from Sikshashtakam verse, right? Anyone knows what is that line? What is the verse? Sikshashtakam, third verse.
I can read it.
Ha, yes.
Srinad api sunichena taror api sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada hari.
Yeah. You can read the translation also, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Yeah. See, this is the qualification for chanting without any offenses, right? So we all chant, but it's all because it's all so much of offenses is there still. Otherwise, if somebody chants without any offense, and which is being said here, amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. So we would completely engage in the remembrance of the Lord, right? Why we are not able to do? Because still it is not pure. Our chanting is not pure. Otherwise, we would have developed taste. We would not stop okay, we have been given 16 rounds. Some more we will complete the 16 rounds, right? So we don't do more than that. Why? Because the taste has not developed, and we are still in the offense stage only. So we can see in the life of the 6 Goswamis. So they were all actually, very. They all come from very rich family, but they all gave up everything for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Like for Lord Krishna, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Channa Avatar, right? Channa Avatar means in Kali Yuga, Prahlad Maharaj said to Lord Vishnu, in Bhagavatam it comes in his prayer, where he says that in Kali Yuga you are going to come in a Channa Avatar, means hidden in the form of devotee. So we see that how for Krishna, for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Goswamis gave up everything, all the amanina manadena. They were being given so much of respect in the material world, and they had a very good position, but they gave everything for the Lord, right? So that is the reason they were able to engage 24/7 in the remembrance of Krishna. And they wrote so many scriptures, and they were continuously engaged in spreading this Krishna conscious to everyone. So because of their mercy, we are able to get it now. It was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy that he introduced the Harinam Sankirtan, right? Because that is the most easiest thing that can be done and the most effective thing in Kali Yuga, right? Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nameva Kevalam, Kalau Nasti Eva Nasti Eva Nasti Gatir Anyata. And also is there Kaler Dosha Nidhe Rajan, Asti Ek Mahan Guna, Kirtanasya, what is that? It is said the Kali Yuga is full of faults, right? So, but then there is one good thing about this Kali Yuga, that is the chanting of holy name. No, it can one can overcome all the difficulties, right? So, and of this material existence, it is said sorry, not Sutta Goswami. I think Shukadev Goswami said this to Prahlad Maharaj. So how just by chanting the name one gets purified. So we see that in Bhagavatam there's one beautiful verse which says about the okay, this is not the verse. Yeah. Ahopata Swapachoto Gariyan Yajipagre Vartate Nama Tuphyam Te Pustapaste Juhuvushashur Shashnurarya Brahmanujo Nama Grinanti Ete. So here it is said, how glorious is, how glorious are they whose tongues are chanting your holy name. Even if born in the family of dog eaters, such persons are worshipable. A person who chant the holy name of your lordship must have executed all kinds of austerities and fire sacrifices and achieved all the good manners of the Aryans. To be chanting the holy name of your lordship, they must have bathed at holy places of pilgrimage, studied the Vedas, and fulfilled everything required. See how glorious it is to chant the holy name of the Lord. So it's not easy. One cannot chant unless he is purified, right? So Bhagavad Gita also it says, Vitaragabhaya krodha manmaya mamupashritaha bahavo jnana tapasa puta madbhavamagataha. Only one when is freed of attachment, fear, and anger, right? Vita, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. And one is able to able to worship the Lord, right? Manamaya Mama Pushrita Bhavo Jnana Tapasa Putaman. So it is said that he has done so many austerities, and now he is able to attain the love of God, right? So it is said in that shloka also. So here also we can see that without doing the austerities in the past, one cannot get, even to the chanting the holy name of Lord, right? So even we hear that even for becoming parents of Krishna, we know that they have performed in the previous life so many tapas. Maybe in this life they look like a very ordinary Brajvasis, and whoever even the 108, the Krishna married 16,000 girls, right? So even it is said they were all actually the yogis or the sages who saw Lord Ram in the forest, and they had that feeling that they wanted to marry him. He was so beautiful. That desire actually fulfilled by Krishna. So we can see in this life, maybe they look like very ordinary, but they have all been either very great austerity they have done in the past. So similarly, if somebody is able to take the name of the Lord also, is said to be like they are worshipable. Okay. So can you give examples? So it is said here, even if they are born in a dog eaters, right? So, so can you give in the examples how even in the family born in a very low born family, but they are worshipable?
Haridas Thakur.
Yes, the best example, right? So Haridas Thakur was born in a Mohammedan family, right? So he was born in a Mohammedan family, and but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him the position of Acharya, that to Namacharya. He used to chant 192 rounds. We can't even imagine, like, and we know that even the Maya Devi herself, when she came, he was not disturbed, right? Because of the holy name. He was completely in remembrance of Lord. And when somebody is completely always remembering Krishna, nothing no, outside thing can harm them. And Prahlad Maharaj also we see like how, no, though he was born in a demonic family and he was given a position of Mahajana, right? He is one of the Mahajana. And even in chapter 10, Krishna says, Daityanam Praladas Chasmi Daityanam. Krishna represent, he says that even in Daityas, I represent Prahlad. So it's actually a wonderful thing which we have got, and we don't know that how fortunate we are that we have been come in contact with such a sampradaya where very easily the Krishna prema is given, right? Like there's a song of Nityananda, right? Nityananda Prabhu, where the market you are being given very easily. It is given. Nityananda Prabhu is giving this love of Krishna, and only thing is the faith. Faith is required in someone. So if you have faith, then he can give you that love for Lord. It is mentioned. So yeah. So the Nagapatnis were astonished that although Kalia had the body of serpent as a result of previous sinful activities, at the same time he was in contact with the Lord to the extent that Lord's lotus feet were touching his hoods. Right? Certainly, this was not the ordinary result of pious activities. So with pious activities, one cannot get Krishna. Right? So he must have done. So they were actually astonished. How did he get so much of mercy? That Krishna is chastising him. Right? 10.16.36. Kasyanubhavo asya na deva vidmahe tavangrirenum sparashadhikaraha yadvanchaya shrir lalanacharattapo vihaya kaman suchiram dhrutavrata. Kasyanubhavo asya na deva vidmahe
Tasyanubhavo asya na deva vidmahi
Tavangrirenu Sparashadhikaraha.
Tavangrirenu Sparashadhikaraha
Yadvanchaya Shri Lalanacharattapo
Yadvanchaya Shri Lalanacharattapo
Vihaya Kaman Suchiram Dhritavrata.
Vihaya Kaman Suchiram Dhritavrata.
Kasyanubhavo Asya na deva vidmahe
Tasyanubhavo asya na deva vidmahi
Tavangrirenu Sparashadhikaraha.
Tavangrirenu Sparashadhikaraha
Yadvanchaya Shri Lalanacharattapo
Yadvanchaya Shri Lalanacharattapo
Vihaya Kaman Suchiram Dhritavrata.
Vihaya Kaman Suchiram Dhritavrata.
If you wants to read only translation.
Shall I, Mataji?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Hare Krishna translation. O Lord, we do not know how the serpent Kalia has attained this great opportunity of being touched by the dust of your lotus feet. For this end, the goddess of fortune performed austerities for centuries, giving up all other desires and observing austere vows. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So, yeah. So it is said that in thousands of Lakshmis are waiting to serve Lord in the spiritual world, right? In Brahma Samhita, it is said that how there are thousands of Lakshmis are waiting. So here he's saying, so easily he attained, right? To in the sense that he is great opportunity of being touched by the dust of your lotus feet, attain the great opportunity of being touched by the lotus feet. For this end, that so it is mentioned here that even goddesses of fortune, that is Lakshmi Devi, also performed for centuries. So in this connection, there's a pastime where we know that goddesses Lakshmi was not being was also not allowed in the rasa dance, right? So what is that? Anyone knows what is the reason?
Because she had to attend to all her devotees who pray her for wealth, but gopis have no other business other than praying to Krishna.
That is one thing. That is one thing. There is one more reason. Anyone can?
Her Aishwarya. She did not want to give up that opulence.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That is the thing. So basically, she didn't wanted to give up the opulences, and but gopis didn't have anything. They didn't wanted anything for them. So that is why it is said even goddesses of fortune had to wait outside only. She was not allowed inside. So here we can see that she also performs austerities for getting the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. So we can know like how everybody aspires for Krishna's lotus feet, and we know like the story, right, where when Krishna had a headache. That's a sweet pastime. Anyone knows? Krishna had once headache, no?
Yes,
Actually, Narad Muni goes to Krishna. Yes, Mataji, you can tell that pastime.
No, Mataji, you continue. I just told about it.
Okay. So once Narad Muni wanted to know who is this, pure devotee or highest devotee. So Krishna wanted to give wanted Narad Muni to understand, and he says that okay, I'm having go and tell the first he goes to this Brahmanas, I think. Yeah. So the great Brahmanas and all that. So he says, so Lord Krishna is having headache, and Krishna says that tell them that I want the dust of their lotus feet. No, only that is smeared on my body. My headache will go. So nobody is ready, right? In the three worlds, when Narmani goes, so they were all afraid, like how our dust we can't even imagine, right? Our dust the dust from our feet and we are putting on Lord. Nobody agrees. They've all said that, oh, what kind of sin it is to do that. We don't want such a sin to be done. They're all afraid of sinful reactions. But when the same thing it was told to the gopis, they were ready. Actually, they said they were digging from their food below, and they were taking mud so much, and they were giving to Narmuni. And Narmuni asked them, like, aren't you afraid of? Do you know what are you doing? Right? You're giving this to Supreme Lord, and you aren't you afraid? So then they say that, you may get some sinful reaction. So they say we aren't worried about it. No, as far as Krishna is happy, that is our only intention. So they don't nothing actually. They think about themselves. They want only to see Krishna happy. They would do to any extent. They were ready to give that. So then Narad Muni understands that their love for Krishna is so pure and is the highest, right? So with this, we stop here. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada.